Yes. Alrighty. What's up, everybody? Once again, it is I, your travel god of extreme, Peter Joseph, here for video number 2 on your late Saturday night. Getting close to late Saturday night, May the 30th, 2026. Or if you're watching now on the replay, it is now officially May the 31st, 2026. Thank you all for coming in and watching this video right here, once again, on the main channel, Killer of Demons 669. Make sure you like the video, hit the subscribe button down below in my pants, otherwise known as the description box below. And show my other channels your love support as well. Leave a comment on this video or any one of my videos from the past, the present, and the future Conan on my respective channels. Don't leave stupid comments. You get sent to the Shadow Realm and never be heard from again after Ozzy and Satan eats your soul. So don't do it, please. Go just do it somewhere else. And that's that. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Share the video all over the internet. Don't forget to tap and slap that bell, turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Because if you miss anything, well, you're a dumb fuck. And your SOL, you know what that means by now. If you don't know, look it up. And that's that. And if you're brand new here, well, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Grab that cold one and enjoy the show. Put your feet up and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You know, too bad for you. Do your own video. And that's pretty much it. Alright, guys. It is late. I am taping pretty much recording these late. As by the time you see this, I'll be in bed. So, I'm pre-recording this as I'm going to bed. So, we got that. But check out my TNA Ring of Honor review. Link will be down below. Down there. In the description box. Excuse me. But it is what it is. That's that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, on this late Saturday night, early Sunday, May the 30th or 31st, 2026, wherever you're watching it from, right here on the Killer of Demons channel. Thank you for watching. Hope you had a great day, and hope you have a great Sunday as we close out the month of May later today. And we begin the final month of the first half of the Price is Right. I mean, the first half of the year. And that'll be June the 1st. On Monday, we start June. And then we are pretty much on the road to July 4th weekend, which is like the midpoint of summer. Some people, it's a midpoint. But we got summer coming up in 2.5 weeks. Supposed to get red hot here in my neck of the woods next weekend. I'm hearing about I saw it might be hitting 90 for the first official weekend of June. Some thunder rumors on Friday. If it's gonna go, cool it down a little bit, but I think as we get to June, the final weeks of spring into the summer, I think we're gonna get to summer. Hopefully, summer-like weather, some 80s, some 90s, maybe some 100s. Who knows? Wherever in my neck of the woods, so that's that. Beach is already open. I think next weekend is going to be a good weekend to go. Not so much this weekend because, today was a little bit chilly. Tomorrow's going to be about 75, so you could go to the beach. It's going to be nice and sunny tomorrow, later today. So, if you want to go to the beach, go to the beach. It's a little cold. The water's a little bit cold. But by the time we hit, I think the summer, like the end of June and early July, water temperature is going to be pretty good, so you can get your swim on, get your tan on, and you get to see the ladies with the thong bikinis and all that other good shit. Just have fun at the beach. And we got that. And for all you people that love the Nathan's hot dog eating contest, that's coming up pretty soon in the next 4.5 weeks. And I might be around that area. Not for the hot dog eating contest, but well, we'll save that for later. Like I tell you now, but I'll just say it is an event. July 4th weekend, an event that I went to last year, but it wasn't the one around July 4th weekend. It was a little bit after July. So, But it's, I'll just say it's a certain hardcore federation you might know and love. I already got my ticket. Didn't have to pay an arm and a leg either. It was cheap. Not cheap, but, you know. But the seats I got are pretty damn good. Not ringside, obviously, but, well, it's kind of, sort of near it. But, yeah, we're going to have a brawl on July 4th. July 4th brawl. But I'm going to it. Can't wait for that. In about 4 weeks a little over 4 weeks from now. So that's going to be great. Good shit. I might have to review that show. I might. I'm not sure, but I might. But we will have that. But yeah. We move on with that. Alright, moving on. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. It is time, after 6 minutes of spiel, which you clipped, and I don't give a fuck. Because that's all you can do. Is watch my shit, critique, get drunk, get high, act like a complete fucking douchebag. Because if you were sober, you wouldn't be talking like that. But it is what it is. And that's that. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, on video number 2 on your 2 for Saturday, late Saturday, it is time for your late and out-of-date WWE Smackdown from Barcelona, Spain review. Alright, so this is from May the 29th, 2026, as we start the mini European tour. So, Smackdown emanated from the Olympique Arena, the Olympic Arena in Barcelona, Spain. And this is the go-home show before Clash in Italy, so we're making a pit stop in Spain. We're going to Turin, Italy tomorrow. Basically, we're going to be in Turin, Italy, tomorrow afternoon. They had house shows in Liverpool, in England. We got that. And then, so tomorrow and Monday we'll be in Turin, Italy, and then this coming Friday we'll be in, I believe, Lyon, France, where they make good French fries. I'm kidding. We'll get that. Alright, as always on Friday Night Smackdown, our commentary team of Joe Tessitore and a man who plays a mean electric twanger, and that's a guitar for you dumb fucks at home, and that's my good buddy, Bad News Wade Barrett. And I'm afraid, Joe, I got some bad news for you. And we got that. Alright, so Smackdown last night, well, Friday night, or Friday afternoon, I should say, if you're watching on VPN, it was okay. The first segment was great, last segment was great, and in between, we had a couple of decent matches, nothing great about it, but that's that. Alright, so we start off Smackdown with a look at Jade Cargill beating up Mommy Rhea Ripley in a 6-woman tag team match on Saturday's main event. So she's getting momentum into her rematch from WrestleMania for the SmackDown Women's Championship. So she comes out with the baddies, that's Mia Yim and B-Fab. They get in the ring for a little kitty chat. B-Fab and Mia Yim basically tell the fans to shut up as they start booing Jade really, really loudly. They know Jade is going to win the title back on Sunday. Nope. Because the future is now. And then, Mommy Rhea Ripley, my brutality. She comes out and, wow, she got a mega pop from the fans. And, I think she says some stuff in Spanish, because she knows a little bit of Spanish, obviously, Mommy, Mamma mia. So, Rhea says, I've beaten you before, Jade, and I'm going to do it again at Clash in Italy. And you're going to be looking up at a true champion. And Jade, not impressed, Skywalker, not impressed. She's not impressed. And then Charlotte and Ms. Bliss, Alexa Bliss, come out. They don't think much of Jade either. So then Jade insults Alexa Bliss. I'm like, uh-oh, you don't set her off, because she basically called like a goddess promo. I missed the goddess, Alexa Bliss, but she basically told Jade to shut the fuck up and gave her a warning, that she's dealt with bigger and better stars than her, and she's beaten them. So then Nick Aldis comes out and says, hey, player, we're going to have a match. So get me a referee. So that was that. So good opening segment. We get that. Alright, then we get to Jade and Alexa with friends at ringside. And then, somewhere near the end, we saw, like, they go to the back, like, Charlotte and Mommy go to the back, I think, because they were just there, and then they went to the back. I thought it was going to be like I don't know why they went to the back, because B-Fab and Mia Yim were out at ringside, and they got involved, obviously. Anyway, it's a pretty good match. Lexi goes for Sister Abigail, gets broken up, and then, the 4 women on the outside brawl all the way to the back, and then a DDT plants Jade, but Lexi goes for Twisted Bliss, and Jade got her basically her ankles and legs up. Then she picks up Lexi, hits Jaded, gets the win in a smidge over 9.5 minutes, and that's pretty much it. So Jade gets the momentum going for her into Clash in Italy, and we'll see what happens with that. After the match, Jade grabs a chair and picks Lexi up. Nobody there to save her. She has Jaded on the chair. And then Mommy Rhea Ripley and Charlotte run in to clear Jade out, but it was a little bit too late. So that's pretty much it. Alright, moving on. Alright, then we're going to look at Cody! MDK Cody, you bitch! We saw him beating up Sami Zayn last week in the main event, despite Walter's interference. And then Walter basically laying out Cody to end the show last week as Sami just stood there in the aisleway looking on. Could have helped him, but didn't. Alright, so we have Sami in the back. He's talking to Cody, who interrupts him. Actually, Cody's in the back. Sami comes in, interrupts him, and Cody really has nothing left to say to Sami. Sami wants an apology. Says, I helped you with Walter last week. No, you didn't. But then you stabbed me in the back. Cody doesn't remember going that way. But Sami thinks Cody could learn a lesson from him. And then Cody's like, oh, really? Well, after I dismantle, I teach Walter a lesson, I'm going to come back to the States and I'm going to come teach you a lesson. So, we could get Sami versus Cody possibly going into Night of Champions. If I want to see it, not really. And as we all know, the King and Queen of the Ring winner get to face the champion, I believe they're choosing, I think the World Champion at SummerSlam. So, whoever wins the men's can face Roman or Cody or Walter. And on the women's side, they can face Liv Morgan or Mommy Rhea Ripley or Jade. So, we'll see what happens with that. So, a lot at stake at Night of Champions at the end of June. It's kind of weird we're not getting a King and Queen of the Ring pay-per-view this year. We're just getting it on Raw and SmackDown, which, is good. Like they had it in the old days. Well, before they took it off pay-per-view. And they brought it back with they had the tournament matches on the show, or actually on the pay-per-view. No, you had the qualifying matches, and then I think they had like the semifinals and finals at King and Queen of the Ring, which was in Saudi Arabia a couple times. And the last queen was, I believe, Jade. I forgot who was the king. I think and it was King Walter, I believe, last year. So we'll see what happens this year. I hope it's Queen Io, but JC Jane already announced that she's going to be in a tournament, so JC Mahal could be Queen JC Mahal. We'll see. But I can see EO and JC Jane going at it, maybe in the semis or maybe the finals. But I mean, we'll see. Even though they're on the same brand, but we'll see. For the men, I'm still going with Obafemi to win that. If they're gonna put him, they gotta put him in. But then again, you know, he's gonna lose to Brock. Well, they could do it. They could do it. They could still do it. They could have Oba get into the tournament and then get to the finals, win that match, and that sets up SummerSlam. So yeah, that's probably going to happen. Oba is going to become King of the Ring, face off against Roman at SummerSlam, which he could possibly beat Roman to become the new champ. But actually, now I'm thinking about it, that Oba Brock is going to go to SummerSlam. So I guess you could throw Oba out of being in the tournament. But then again, he could, I don't know how they're gonna do it, but maybe he wins the tournament, beats Roman. No, I was right the first time because the finals are at Night of Champions, so he can't face Roman at Night of Champions. He has to face him at SummerSlam. So he could win the tournament if he was in it, win it, and then maybe we have like a triple threat match with Oba, Brock, and Roman. That would be epic, but probably not gonna happen. I don't know who could win. You know what? I think a perfect guy that can win King of the Ring, Braun Breaker. So we could get Braun Breaker versus Roman at SummerSlam. That could be good. I mean, we'll see, but that's that. And maybe we'll see Sammy and Cody maybe before then. I don't know. We'll see. Looks like they're going that direction. It could headline a pay-per-view. They want to go that direction, but we'll see. Moving on. Alright, then we're back with Nicholas Aldis, and he wants Mr. Danhausen. I will curse you. Hope he curses. He should reverse the curse from the Knicks and put the curse on the Knicks. Whatever. Alright, so Nick Aldis wants Mr. Danhausen to appear in front of the crowd, as he's legally paid to do. So Mr. Danhausen agrees. He goes off, only to be replaced by The Miz. And then we see Mr. Danhausen in the back grabbing a bunch of things, going into his lab. So Miz complains about Kit Wilson not being here because, he pretty much couldn't go on the plane because he had too much moisturizer or some shit like that. That's stupid. So and then Kit Wilson goes on Twitter saying this is the first time in so many years that I ever missed a show because of stupid things. I think it was with his passport as well. So it was visa. I don't know if it was a visa or his passport was all messed up. They had issues with that, and he had too much moisturizer. What? I mean, really? What? Spain thought that was a bottle of semen? I mean, come on now, you dumb Spaniards. But I digress on that. All right, so he's complaining that Kit, he can't be out there, he can't do anything without Kit. So Nick Aldis says, I don't want to hear it. You're gonna face Axiom in his home country coming up next. So we get to the match, which wasn't anything to write home about. Ben Frazier, I believe, was at ringside. So Miz looked like he had Axiom beat after he powers out of a crossface, hits a slingshot powerbomb, and then he goes up for I don't know what reason. Then the lights start flickering like the Undertaker was gonna come out, and then the lights flicker. Miz is like, "What the hell's going on?" Like we're gonna get a lot of pyro incident, and then A-Kid with a super Spanish fly, perfect on the Miz. Then he waits for Miz to get up, hits the golden ratio, 1, 2, 3. So A-Kid gets the win in his home country of Spain, and he gets the win in over 9 minutes. And that was pretty much it. Moving on. Alright, then we're in the back. Our Fool, one half of the Smackdown Tag Team Champions, goes up to his tag team partner, Poppy Priest, says, I got you, since I'm not medically cleared yet, I got you a tag team partner, and is this guy? And in comes Royce Keys, Will Hobbs, who will team up with Priest against the MFTs, Tama Tonga and Tala Tonga, or Hikuleo. Priest is like, I don't buy this, I don't even trust this guy, so there's still, some animosity and everything. But, Archer gets smart, asking if either of them was scared. And, both of them say, no, we're not scared. So, there should be no reason to team up then. So Truth leaves, Poppy goes after him. I don't know why, I guess he was confused on what he just said. So, I don't know. I still think the MFTs are going to get those tag team titles back somehow. And we'll see what happens with that. It's not that many tag teams in WWE to begin with anyway. Alright, that's that. Alright, after that, well, we go to somewhere in the back. Sami Zayn starts yelling, he's upset, and he talks to Candice LeRae, but it's actually Johnny Gargano who's lying on the top of the steps. On a little platform going down the steps a little bit. That's funny. He has this whole depression gimmick. I don't really like it. It's funny, but it's just weird. But anyway, so Candice is there, saying, what do you want me to do about Johnny? Blah, blah, blah. So Candice storms off, and then, woo, you blew it. Matt fucking Cardona comes in, tries to talk some sense into Sammy, but that's not cool with Sammy, and then we get a match coming up for later. Yeah, that's pretty much it. They gotta really get rid of the Johnny Gargano unhappy gimmick or whatever it is. Just get rid of it. It's just boring at this point. Pointless. We get that. Alright, then we go to the trainer's room where Charlotte leaves Lexi there. She has like a big knot on her head or some shit. Then she goes outside, runs into Mommy Rhea Ripley, who basically says, I'm gonna take care of Jade at Clash in Italy, and Charlotte's like, well, you better, because if you don't, I will. So, maybe that was foreshadowing that Jade could possibly win back the SmackDown Women's Championship for the second time, and then her and Charlotte go at it. Maybe Charlotte gets number 15 or 16. We'll see what happens with that, with the Women's Division, and that's it. Alright, then we go to Poppy Priest and Will Hobbs, Royce Keys, taking on Tama Tonga and Tala Tonga, or Hikuleo, with Solo at ringside. This was an okay match, 9-minute match. We're getting to the end, and a lifting downward spiral plants Tama, and then a top rope clothesline by Priest gives him a near fall. And then Solo gets an acute shot from the floor. And R-Truth comes out. Not that he can actually do anything. He's not really medically clear to compete in the ring, but he comes out anyway. And does a couple things, and then Solo basically takes him out, goes after that bad shoulder, bad arm. And unbeknownst to Priest's like, oh, what the fuck's going on? He doesn't see that Truth got beat up. Eventually, he knows. And then Royce Keys goes over for the save, but that distraction lets Tala hit the choke slam on Poppy. 1, 2, 3. So it looks like we're gonna get some type of tag team going after Truth and Priest when Truth is cleared. So I would think it's gonna be Solo and Tama Tonga. It could be Solo with Hikuleo. It could be Hikuleo with Solo, Hikuleo with Tama Tonga. So we'll see what happens with that. But 9-minute match, it was pretty decent, and back to the drawing board for Poppy Priest and R-Fool. And that's that. Alright, we go into the back again. Miz complains to Nick Aldis about the lights flickering and losing the match. So we we go into Mr. Danhausen's laboratory. Well, Mr. Danhausen hears them, and then he kind of hides, and then Miz goes in there, and Nicole's like, "Where are you going?" And then Miz gets blasted with a fire extinguisher, sending Miz running to find his eyeballs or something. And then Nick Aldis goes in, tries to look underneath the sheet to whoever is underneath the sheet, probably be Omos or somebody else. And Daniel's like, "Don't touch that! I know you're gonna touch that! Stop it!" So, yeah. So, another one of these stupid things, like, who's in the box? It was Danhausen. Everyone was mad. Then, then we started coming around, like, "Oh, Mr. Danhausen's great, yay!" And now they're doing another, what's underneath the sheet gimmick. Whatever it is. So, I hope we find out what's underneath that sheet in his laboratory. Would it be a monster? Would it be a return of somebody? Or a debut of somebody? So, we'll see what happens with that. And we move on. Alright, then I got a video for my tribal chief, Roman Reigns, and Jacob Fatu, Yamin. We get that. Then a Clash in Italy rundown, and that's it. Alright, we're in the back with Madam President Chelsea Green. Comes up to the Women's United States Champion, my girl Tiffany Stratton. Can't do Daddy, because Daddy's sleeping. And looked like they dressed alike. That was pretty damn nice. And Tiffany has an idea for the entrance. No, Chelsea says that she has an idea for the entrance later, as Chelsea will face Nia Jax later. Tiffany says this was just a one-time thing last week, so I'm gonna pass on that. And Chelsea's kind of like a little sad panda. Aww. We get that. We move on. Alright, then we get a nice video of the Battle of the El Grande Americanos, the mask versus mask match, which was happening on Saturday, which I mentioned in my last video. It was fucking epic, and Ludwig, Marcel Barthel got the win over the OG El Grande Americano, who then demasked, and then we all knew it was Chad Gable, busted wide open, a lot of blood, and that's pretty much it. So, we'll see what happens with Marcel Barthel in Mexico, what his next thing is. Maybe he'll face Dom, because since Marcel has won the Reyes de Reyes sword, basically, that whole tournament, he gets the sword, which gives him a title shot, so you see that happening at maybe the next pay-per-view. Maybe not Clashing. Maybe on Saturday's main event, or maybe they stretch it to Night of Champions. So we'll see what happens with that. But good promo leading up to the match, which was freaking epic. And like I said, Marcel Barthel beat Chad Gable, and Chad Gable had to demask, and that was it. So we'll see what happens with Chad Gable. He's probably going to be on Raw to try to get back, maybe with he has the Creed brothers, and I think they're going to get demasked, and we're going to find out they were the Creed brothers. Oh, sure, we know that. And then eventually, Ludwig Kaiser might take off his mask, like, "Hey, it's me, Ludwig!" And then Rayo and Bravo will unmask as Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. And that's that. Hold on. Alright, then we get to Sami Zayn and Matt Cardona. I didn't care for it. Sami wins with a hell of a kick and a little over 10 minutes, and that's pretty much it. Alright, then we got a video for King and Queen of the Ring. Qualifying matches start on Raw and Smackdown. So we got that. Then we get a look at a new documentary called WWE Made in America. Basically talking about, how WWE started from like a really rinky-dink indie fed to becoming one of the main promotions in all professional wrestling. Excuse me. I thought it was pretty good. I did see most of it. It wasn't that bad. And we got that. Alright, then it's time for the Men's United States Championship. Winnie! Shown and his little buddy, Little Yachty, to come up for a chat. Trick brags about his success since he came up to the main roster. Now it means he should come and qualify for the King of the Ring. Mello comes out, says, Trick, you could be the king of the microphone, king of the epic entrance, but in the ring, this is my house and you just don't measure up. So Trick thinks Mello is being melodramatic, how pun intended, because he's not as good as Trick is. And then Mello's like, well, only if only Ricky Starks hadn't interfered, match would have ended maybe with Mello holding the United States title again. So I got that. Ricky Starks comes out, doesn't like that suggestion, ready to face Mello, and then after he beats him, he'll turn his focus to Trick for the United States title. So then he says some stuff to Trick. Trick basically bitch slapped him, knocked him out, and then we get right into Ricky Starks and Carmelo Hayes. Surprised we didn't get a triple threat out of that, and I still think that we're going to get a triple threat down the line, but we'll see what happens with that. That's it. Alright, then we get to Ricky Starks and Carmelo Hayes. This is a pretty good match that went 11-11, make a wish, ladies and gentlemen. Then we get near the end, and Nola suplex gives Ricky a near fall. Carmelo hits him right in the face again, and then he hits Dirty Diana for a near fall. And Ricky comes right back with a spinning downward spiral for a near fall of his own. And then Mello knocks him to the outside for running flippy dippity doo. Then he gets sent to the apron, and then they brawl on the outside. We get a double count out, which I hate that. Wanted a clear winner, so we get that, and we'll see what happens with Trick and Ricky Starks and Mello. Possibly a triple threat match, maybe at Night of Champions for the Intercontinental title, and that's pretty much it. Alright, moving on. Alright. Then after the match, Mello lays out Ricky with the first 48, and that's pretty much it. Alright, then we got a video for Brock and Oba, so if you missed that, you missed that. Then we hear from the Irresistible Forces, Lash Legend, get shit done, and Nia Jax. They pretty much threaten a beatdown on Tiffany Stratton. We get that. Alright, then we get a vignette video from Blake Monroe. She's writing in her diary about some of the women in the Smackdown locker room, mainly one, and that's Miss Mommy Rhea Ripley for the Smackdown title. She says Mommy is sad and Blake is going to have to make things all better for her. I wonder what kind of things. I don't want to know, but we get that. Alright, then we get the Nia Jax and Chelsea Green, Lash Legend, at ringside. Eventually, Tiffy Tip comes out to distract Nia from hitting the Annihilator on Chelsea. And she hits. Excuse me. She hits a belt shot, knocking Nia off the middle rope, and then Chelsea with a fruit rolled up 1, 2, 3 in just about 6.5 minutes. Yeah, that's that. So Chelsea gets the win thanks to Tiffy Tip, and then maybe they can coexist. We'll see what happens with that. Move on. So yeah, then after match, Tiffy wants a hug, but she got denied. But slowly cooking, and we'll see what happens with that, and we move on. But Chelsea's a face. We'll see what happens with that. All right, then we end the show with Cody and Walter face to face. Pretty good. I liked how Walter came out, basically bad-mouthing Cody, living the whole American dream and stuff like that stuff. Kind of like a little jab to Dusty Rhodes, but and then Walter's like, you left WWE to go to AEW, and then when you wanted to come back, it was one phone call, stuff like that. And then Walter's like, if I didn't care, I would be Cody said, Walter, if you don't care so much, if you didn't care, I would be talking to a 230-pound version of Walter at an indie show rather than, slimmed down version here in the Northeast. So, look at that. So then Paul Heyman says that being champion is addictive, and Walter wants to find that out. The only thing, the only thing he'll find, though, is the worst thing a pro wrestler can learn. He's not good enough. Excuse me. That's that. So, Cody says his stupid line, easy to find, harder to beat. He goes to leave. Walter stops him and basically says, I made a promise to Goldberg that I was going to choke him out. He did. And then he said the same thing to Cody Rhodes. And, put it in. That went well. And then, I think Keith and Nand is there. And I think, I forget who else, but that was kind of cool. So they go back and forth for a while, and then Cody gets a little bit serious. Cody's saying Cayman said that being champion is addictive. Walter wants to find that out. The only thing he's going to find is the worst thing a pure wrestler can learn. He's not good enough. Walter talks about how everyone he has beaten, and all the promises that he has kept. Now he promises to choke Cody out, take the belt with him. And that's pretty much it. They have a stare down, and they eyeball each other and then end the show. That's pretty much it. Alright guys, that is it. I am going to bed because I'm about to pass out. So I'm going to take a quick nap. Quick 4 or 5 hour nap, and then I'm going to get up, have some breakfast with the missus, and then going to record my predictions for Clash in Italy, and then me and the missus are going to go out for lunch and do some errands, maybe some family dinner here and there, but we'll see what happens with that. But that's all I got to say about that. So thanks for watching this video and my TNA Ring of Honor review right here on the channel. But right now, I am out of here. Smackdown, I thought it was alright. 7.25 out of 10 stars. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below on that side. Alright, go to sleep, everybody. If you haven't gone to sleep yet, if you're on the West Coast, go to sleep. On the East Coast, sorry to wake you, but I gotta, it is what it is. So, I'm gonna get out of here, go to sleep. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time. Peace.